Dr. Namrata has just joined us. She doesn't need introduction. She's our scientific chair, and she's an international women leader. Dr. Anurag. Can I have your card? Okay. Yes, Namrata.
Okay. Thank you. It's, I think, a great session, and I would like to thank Dr. Prashant Bhavankule for making it and for making me a part of it. The talk he gave me was empowering women, and I thought it was a general kind of a talk, not related to ophthalmology. And while making this talk, the facts that came through are not something that we wouldn't expect, but then they are very starking. So I think it is time to break the bias, and gender equality today is required for a sustainable tomorrow. And is there a question that you have to break the bias? Yes, I think the answer is that yes, we do have to break the bias. And if you look at the World Economic Forum's Gender Gap Report in 2017, it mentions that the female talent remains one of the most underutilized business resources, and without gender equality, a sustainable future or even an equal future remains beyond our reach. Now, if you look at the Gender Gap Report in 2021, the gender gap score in 2021 was 67%. That means the gap to close between men and women is about 32%. And this is a step back compared to 2020, and this gender gap did widen even in the COVID period. So if we take on its current trajectory, it will take 135.6 years to close the gender gap worldwide, which means it's not happening in our lifetime at all. Now, there are 4 key areas of gender gaps: political participation, economic participation, educational attainment, health and survival. And if you look at the political participation, it is 22% closed till date globally. Women represent 26% of all parliament seats and 22.6% of the ministers worldwide. And in 81 countries, there's never been a woman head of state. So at the current rate of progress, it will take about 145 years to attain the gender equality in politics, which again is not there. As far as the economic participation and opportunity is concerned, second largest area of gender gap is this, and current closure rate is only 58%. And in terms of years to close it, it will take 200 plus years. Again, not happening in our lifetime. Of all the managerial positions, only 22% are being filled by women. But we are better here in educational attainment. 95% of the gender gap is already closed. That means we are really literate. And on current trajectory, it might take 14.2 years to completely close this gap. So if we are fortunate, it will happen in our lifetime. So I think the crux is that as far as the education is concerned, we are there. But as far as the politics is concerned, health is concerned, and as far as other areas are concerned, we are not there. In terms of geography, of course, the South Asia is the worst, followed by Middle East and North Africa. And to close the geographical, if you look at geographically, it will take largest number of years in South Asia, and it will be quickest to close in Western Europe and in North America. Again, if we look at the various countries in our geographical region, we are slightly better off as compared to the others. And again, this is the share of participation of the work across India from 2014 to 2022 by gender. Then males do 67% and females only do 33%. In professional and technical roles, we are about 30%. That means only 1/3 of us are in technical jobs, and about 14.6% are there who are in senior positions. As far as the income is concerned, in India it is less than 20.7% of an average man, and this disparity is again more as compared to the other developed countries. Progressive, like I said earlier, only in educational attainment we are more advanced in India also and otherwise also. And health and survival, there is 94.2% of the gap closure rate, and lower performance of large countries such as India and Pakistan is mainly because of the social beliefs which are persistent in our part of the region. So we need to break this bias, and we can forge women's equality program. At least if it doesn't happen for the future generations, we can create a world which doesn't have this inequality. The government has taken a lot of efforts like the PCPNDT Act, the Female Infanticide Act, Dowry Prohibition Act, ban on ultrasound testing. And there are government schemes like Educate the Girl Child, then Asia and Pacific Generation Equality. We have women leaders in police forces who have been really acclaimed and have been awarded. We have women in finance, just to show a few, whose earning is also more and who actually teach the basics of the stock market. And we have women entrepreneurs in our own country who are CEOs and co-founders of various companies which have net worth of many hundreds of crores. We have women in sports who have done India proud in various international events. And even in medicine, India's first female doctor who made Calcutta Medical College started admitting women, and we are in Kolkata today, was Dr. Kandamani Ganguly, again, a symbol of women's liberation. In medicine, again, we do have women leaders. The first Indian female physician, Dr. Anandibai Joshi, who gained a degree in Western medicine, and Marie Curie, who won or received 2 Nobel Prizes. So there have been anecdotal and isolated reports, but I think as a whole group, we need to move together. There are leaders also in politics who have overcome the barriers of gender inequality and racial differences. And although the number is less, but I think the impact has been strong and significant also because the number is less. They get noticed more, and maybe that doesn't happen for the male counterpart. So that is the only area where, we excel. So I would like to conclude by Dr. APJ Kalam's saying that empowering women is prerequisite for creating a good nation. And when women are empowered, society with stability is assured, and it is essential in their value system, which leads to the development of a good family, society, and ultimately a good nation. So thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Namrata. Happy to give you a